Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's Traders Club. Today, 15th of September, Tuesday. Okay, so as we can see for the STI, right, basically the stocks continue to be on downtrend, right, of these blue chip stocks. And as we mentioned over the past few sessions, right, this 20 and 50 MA continue to show that the stocks is on a very bearish sentiment. But we are hopeful looking at this support, right, the 2480, 2478 level. So last week, as you can see, has been tested, including this week, right, as we begin the trading week, it's been tested again. So it's a very strong horizontal support, okay, but the thing is the downtrending ways of this moving average shows that the weakness is continuing. Okay, so if this level breaks, right, it's been testing for months already, but if it finally breaks, then I think we got to look out for the next level, which is between 2370 to 2380. Okay, that was formed by this little gap over here, right, back then in March. Yeah, back then in March. This gap was supported, as you can see, in April, tested when the price came down, it tested as a support. Yeah, so this is the next level of support, right? Should this 2480 level fail to hold, right? Okay, so that is the for STI. Okay, again, the blue chips are not very bullish now. So I think if you're still looking for stocks to trade, then probably you have to be looking at some other second liners. Yeah, so I'll just highlight some of these stocks with trading opportunities. Okay, the first one being ARA Logistics. I think we did talk about these stocks several times over the past few months. Yeah, so this time, in fact, as recent as last month, there was a trading signal. So some of you could be in, right? You are most likely to be still in the trade because the stop loss was set below the 50 MA. Yeah, so you'll still be in the trade. For those who are not in the trade yet, today it presented opportunity again. Yeah, so you can see the 20 MA is above the 50 MA. The price is currently on 20 and 50 MA support. And MACD is showing the green after at least 4 consecutive red bars. Okay, so that's the trading signal. Okay, but we will need the market's confirmation to enter. So let's take a look at today's candle. The high is 64 cents. Yeah, so which means you will need it to go at least 64.5, right, as the market's confirmation. All right. Now, of course, if you say that this whole 1 month has been unable to break past 64.5, so you may even set it at 65, as the confirmation. Just sacrifice one bit, right, half a cent, right. But if not, then you must go at least 64.5 cents before you are taking the trade. Okay, so for stop loss, we can set it below the 50 MA, right? So you could be setting it at 61 cents. Still a very small risk to take, right? This stock has been on the uptrend since June. Yeah, let's see whether it's able to continue. So one thing is very clear: if it's able to continue, this support will continue to hold first, right? Between the 20 and 50 MA. So that's the reason why we put the stop loss beneath 61. So which means that if you take the trade and if it will come down to 61 cents, then you could be thinking about cutting your loss. Okay, so that's for ARA Logistics. Excuse me. Okay, last week we did talk about this stock, Bumitama. Yeah, Bumitama, and the signal was here. All right, so there's this trade, and then if you did not take the trade yet, then you could be waiting for another signal over here, right? So which happens yesterday. So what happens is, as far as yesterday is concerned, this is the high is 51 cents. So you got to wait for at least 51.5 cents as a market's confirmation, right? That's for Bumitama. Okay. Now there's only one small cause of concern, right? Because there was this small little gap here. Okay, so that one is between 56 cents to 54 cents. So it's about 2 cents gap. So if anybody were to be taking this trade, right? Based on the confirmation, be clear that if you to push up towards this 54, 56 level, it may face some resistance. Yeah, so either you take some profit over here, right? Or you can close out a position up here. So if you find that the risk to reward is too tight, then probably you would want to give this trade a pass. Yeah, because of this gap down over in March. Okay. Yeah, but if you're looking for a quick trade, so assume this is the high is 51 cents. If it goes to 51.5 cents, you could take the trade. After you've taken the trade, it goes up by about 3 to 4 cents. You're out very quickly. I mean, that's for those who are for very short-term trade. Then you could be looking at a quick profit between 54 and 56 cents. Okay, so that's for Bumitama. Okay, for CSC Global. All right. Okay, so CSC Global, yeah, as you can see, we were talking about a signal, right? So previous signal was back then in late August, right? But there wasn't any markets confirmation, right? Because the high is 51.5 cents, it didn't manage to go to 52 cents. Yeah, so what happened after that was it did come down, right? And as it came down, we're talking about looking for signal, right? And so the signal appeared last week, okay, on this day, last Friday. Okay, so the confirmation will have to be 50 cents, right? So for those who had watched this, you could be in today, right? You could be in today because yesterday it didn't hit 50 cents. Today it hit the 50 cent mark, entry price. So your stop loss you could have set around 47 cents, right? Now if you didn't take the trade today, you miss it, right? There's still an opportunity because the price hasn't moved much yet. Yeah, so if it's able to come up to 50 cents or even up to 50.5 cents, you could be considering to take this long trade. All right. Now, if you can come to 50.5 cents, two things are happening, right? Two bullish things are happening. One is see this small gap down, right? So this is able to go up to 50.5 cents. This gap resistance will no longer be valid. A very small gap. Yeah, but if you can trade to 50.5 cents, that means this gap resistance is no longer valid, no longer a resistance. At the same time, this 20 MA, right, that is falling down. If it's able to trade past to 50.5 cents, that means the 20 MA is not a significant resistance as well. All right, so more likely, if you can trade to 50.5 cents, you could trade even further because it cleared the resistances. All right, so that's for CSC Global, all right, the things to look out for. If you are not in the trade yet, of course, if you're already in the trade, then please stick to your stop loss plan. All right. Okay, next, Food Empire. Okay, so Food Empire, right? There was at that time, yeah, it was an uptrend when it pulls back. All right, so we say wait for the signal. Okay, so the signal happened yesterday. All right, so signal happened yesterday, but there's no confirmation yet. Yeah, so that's the trade that you could be looking at in the next couple of days. Right, so the high is 60 cents. So naturally, we'll put the entry at 60.5 cents. Yeah, so as you can see today, it hasn't gone up from past 60 cents at all. So we are looking at 60.5 cents for the entry. And of course, your cut loss, you could set it below, right, at 55 cents. Yeah, so it's a less than 10% risk. All right. Now again, if you wish to have more certainty, right, to sacrifice 1 cent, right? So you can set your entry price at 61.5 cents. Okay, in so doing, again, you clear the small little gap over here. At the same time, you clear the 20 MA. Okay, that's something if you wish to do to get more certainty, you have to be more sure per se. Okay, but if you say no, you don't want to miss so much profit, right? The minimum price has to go to is 60.5 cents. Yeah, so if it happens to hit 60.5 cents and you take the trade and it's able to go further, you make 1 cent more than those who wait for it to go further up. Okay, so yeah, so regardless, it has to hit at least 60.5 cents to consider taking a long trade for Food Empire. Okay, then of course the cut loss, you can set it below the 50 MA, which is around 55 cents. Okay, phrases, L and I. Right, so I think this, yeah, we did mention previously as well. Okay, so okay, just to come back here now. So the signal day, right, is last week. So we did talk about it, and it did come down last week over to here. So what happens is, of course, the entry would be minimum because the high is 136. You'll be looking at least 137. All right. But we did mention about this 140 level, right, which it has tried since late July. Yeah, it's unable to clear. Okay, so it's at historical high, no doubt. It's a good thing. If you're not in the trade yet, right, with all this signal here, right, so you could be thinking of setting your entry price if it's able to clear 140, say 141. All right. Reason, of course, the minimum price, of course, it could be just 137, isn't it? But by looking at the recent test, right, of the 140, okay, it's unable to clear 140 after testing it 3-4 times. It may show that the market feels that Fraser's L and I is not worth more than 140 yet. At least that's what the market has been saying for the past almost 2 months already. All right. So although no doubt there's a signal. Right, so we could even take the trade at 137, okay, but you may run the risk of from 137 it goes up a couple of cents and you hit the this 140 resistance again. All right, so yeah, so if you wish to take this trade, watch out for it to at least clear 140. Okay, and then of course your stop loss, you could set it below the 50 MA, you could set 128. All right, so this this 140 level has been quite stubborn. Okay, no doubt it's an uptrend stock, running very well since May. No doubt it's a historical high stock, something that I like. Historical high means some market has not been willing to pay for such a high price ever before, and they're willing to do so now. So it's a good thing. Okay, the only thing that because it has tested 140 too many times, 3 times, right, in recent couple of months, right? So for those who are not in the trade yet, yeah, just be mindful of this $1.40 level. So if you really wish to take it, probably let it clear 140 first, yeah, to take the trade. Okay, so that's Fraser's L and I. Okay, Mapletree Com. Okay, Mapletree Com back into the uptrend again. Right, so previously it was on the downtrend, so we were not talking about it. Okay, but it has since turned more to the upside. Okay, the price have pulled back to test the 20 and 50 MA support, and the MACD is now showing a green after a series of red. Okay, so the high is 201, $2.01. So we're looking at 202 at least, right, as the market's confirmation to take the trade. So we're looking at 202. Okay, your stop loss, you can set it below the 50 MA, say 191. Yeah, so that'll be the trade for Mapletree Commercial Trust. Okay, the next one is in US dollar, right? So prime US REIT, USD. Okay, all right. So yeah. So if you take a look at this, it's on an uptrend as well. So the price has pulled back. Okay, previously there was another signal. All right, so but if you miss that, then it's presenting itself another one over here. Okay, the thing is, okay, look at this. This is the day of the signal, which was actually yesterday. All right, so the high is 82 cents. So we're basically looking at 82.5 cents as the confirmation. Okay, so and of course, stop loss sell it below the 50 MA. Yeah, so you could be doing planning this trade as such. Okay, so the thing is that today it hit the entry price. Yeah, so if anybody happened to be watching this stock and you took the trade today, that is a valid trade, right? Because it has confirmed. All right. And now, for those who miss it, right, and you're only looking at it now, then not to worry. There's a second chance for you, because you can see after hitting the entry price, it has not moved yet. Yeah, so which is still hanging around 82.5 cents. Yeah, so they may give you a second chance to enter. So for those who wish to take the trade, right, you can still look out for 82.5 cents for prime US REIT. All right. Okay, next one, ST Engineering. Right, ST Engineering. Okay, so yeah, the price have pulled back and it show green. Yeah, so I think previously we annotated this as well, something what we need to look out for. Okay, so let's look at it. Right, so it's come down to support. The signal was here. Now, so last week I think we talked about this, and yeah, the next day it went up. So you could be in the trade already for anybody. Just a quick recap, right, in case you're just seeing this for the first time. And so the high is $3.44. Sorry, $3.45. So your entry price you will set at least $3.46. Okay, and of course your stop loss you can set it below the 50 MA. Okay, so what happened is it hit the entry price, right? Now, of course, it hasn't moved far yet. So which means if you miss the trade, as discussed previously, right, then you could be looking at the trade again if the price will come back to 346. Yeah, note that the 20 and 50 MA support is still very much intact. And so that gives the this new uptrend, right, a good chance of holding on. Right. Nevertheless, we have our stop loss 327 to protect the position. Okay, so this is ST Engineering. Okay, look for 346. Okay, next, Venture. Okay, so Venture has previously come down, right? And okay, so notice that you're just hanging by the 20-50 MA support. Now, then it presents a trading signal over here. Yeah, so that it was confirmed the next day. Yeah, so anyone who are in the trade could be in already. Okay, so let me just zoom in here. Right, so this is the signal day. So the high is 1955. Right, your entry will be at least 1956. Right, of course you could give some buffer, but at least 1956. Okay, so you can see the trade hits the entry price the next day. Okay, so for those who are not in it yet, right, if you can come back to 1956 or above, right, then you could be looking at as a second chance to enter the trade. Okay, stop loss you could set it below the 50 MA. Okay, so that's for Venture. All right, yeah, so these are the stocks with trading opportunities. So do pay attention to the trading signals, the entry price, and the stop loss. All right, so trade carefully, as we can see in STI, now coming to test the key horizontal support that we have been watching out for many sessions already. Yeah, so it's now testing it again and again, now getting closer and closer to breaking it. Yeah, so let's hope it's able to sustain. If not, if it breaks, then there could be more downside as far as blue chips are concerned. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk to you again next week. So have a good trading week.